this is Halloween, and if you love making costumes and Halloween as much as I do, you may want to subscribe because I'm going to be showing you how to make some awesome costumes without breaking the bank, maybe even using some items you already have at home. In today's episode, we're going to be recreating Snow White from Walt Disney's animated classic, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Let's get started. Today we're doing Snow White, and I actually purchased this gorgeous costume on Amazon for only $60, and it's so well made. It's velvet up top. It's got a velvet cape that's kind of double-sided. It looks really great. I know it's still wrinkled from taking it out of the package. I will be ironing it before we get dressed, before I put this on. But I just wanted to show you, even in a wrinkled state, it's still a beautiful dress. The material is not cheap and thin, or that picky material, you know, that picks. It's a really heavy-duty, solid material. And it comes with this great collar on it, too, that would stand up when I'm wearing it, which is amazing. I bought a black finger-waved wig, which I've kind of been combing out a bit. It's pretty kinky, but I think if she were in live action, her hair would probably look like this, more of a finger-waved black wig. And then it came with this cute bow on a headband already, which is just awesome. Like, it's a one-stop shop. That's all you need. I'm gonna wear these shoes. I know she doesn't really wear a platform shoe. It's more of a yellow flat she wears with a bow on it. But I already had these. I used these with my Morton Salt Girl. And I just got these on eBay. So since I already have them, I'm gonna go ahead and wear those with the costume. I think it's gonna be fine and look great. And that's it. That's the costume. This I would highly recommend to anybody. It is a Disney costume. It's really beautiful and well made. So I'll put the link down below as to which one I got if you want to check it out. Just look at the lining of the inside of the sleeves. And the sleeves are padded as well. So when you put it on, it's going to be a nice fluffy sleeve. It's a beautiful, beautiful buy. Let's go ahead and get started with our makeup. We're ready to do Snow White. Now, I bought this wig. It's kind of kinky. I get it. It may not be the wig that you would want to wear for Snow White. However, I do feel, although it's a little short and kind of kinky, if Snow White were real, the film came out in 1937. This is kind of like a kinky, finger-waved wig. So the style back in 1937 would have been similar to what I have on my head right now. I think with Snow White, as long as you have black hair and it's some kind of 1930s style, whether it's finger waves or it's a little bit longer or shorter, I don't think it matters. As long as you have some kind of black 1930s style, you'll be in the safe zone with Snow White. The film came out in 1937, the original Snow White film, and was the most successful Technicolor film of all time, is what I read online. I don't know if that was just in 1937, but I mean, that's still pretty cool. That's still pretty amazing to have that kind of success. 1937 is right around when the talkies were first coming out. And I've talked about talkies in some of my previous videos. So they called basically what's a regular film today talkies because they actually talked in them. They had dialogue. When before, in the second half of the 1800s, during vaudeville, the only cinema you could see was silent film. So The Black Pirate and Charlie Chaplin and silent film. So it did have a musical score, and there were parts in the silent films that would flash up and you could read the dialogue, but didn't actually have sound dialogue. Anyway, let's get started with this makeup. Snow White is probably my favorite princess. I don't know if I said Cinderella was. It's kind of a toss-up between the two. But I identify the most with Snow White. I love her white skin and her black hair and the red lipstick. It's my favorite. So she's kind of like if I were a cartoon character, I'd be Snow White. I have already put on foundation. What I wanted to do actually was make myself Snow White. A little bit lighter. I've got some airspun here. I'm going to just tap that on to be a little more pasty. It smells so good. I also want to be more matte, not shiny for Snow White. So the powder will help with that. I have a black liner. I'm going to go over my eyebrows with that black liner. I know it's been a while since I've done a costume. I apologize for that, but like I said, it was a wild year and, you know, I just couldn't do it. Just could not do it. I couldn't do it and make it good. You know, I just wasn't feeling up to it. So I'm back. My schedule's changed a bit. The way I'm going to do it is a little bit different this year than the way I've done it in previous years. So just to let you know, I'm going to be on here doing a costume. January through April, I'll do a costume a month. So the last Sunday of every month will not be a cemetery. It'll be a costume. And then starting in May, I'll do a costume a week all the way through October. And that's what I'm going to do. Rather than doing 2 costumes a week in October, it's just a little too much with my full-time job, and I can't. I just don't want to put that kind of stress on myself. I'm sure you understand. I'm not doing anything crazy with my makeup. It's just basically regular makeup. For Snow White. For the most part. Got my little black eyebrows. I'm going to do my other one. So, I got both eyebrows. I'm going to do a real pinky blush for her. She has very kind of rosy cheeks. She's Snow White with rosy cheeks. So, we're just going to do a rosy cheek. I found the best costume. I will link it down below. The exact one that I got. I got it off of Amazon. $59, and it's a Disney costume. Like, it has Disney on the tag. I mean, you really can't beat it. It's great material. The sleeves are puffy. It's just a really beautiful costume. What was I going to say? Oh, if you're one of these people, though, that get your costume from Amazon, you know, the night before Halloween, and you just rip that thing out of the package and put it on, don't do that. Take the costume out, iron the costume, because this one was quite wrinkled when I got it. It was in a bag or something. It was wrinkled. So, iron your costume, and it's going to look 1,000 times better. So just take the time and give it a little iron. It ain't going to kill you. Now, I've got, this is a Tarte palette. Doesn't matter what you use. I'm using a smoke color for the lid, my eyelid, and I'm probably going to do a little bit, not really a cat eye, just a liner on the lid as well. This is a smoke color. I have noticed in the film, it's just on her lid. Like a little half moon on the lid. I don't know if y'all have ever bought this brand, but it smells like marshmallows, and that's pretty cool. I love the smell of marshmallows. It's very subtle, this color. That's okay. You want it to be subtle. It is Snow White, so. I'm going to use my finger and blend a little bit, too. Now I'm going to take a fine brush here and just go under my eyelid with that same color. Just right in a line. Pretty. Now I just want to do a line on my lid. Not so much a cat eye. Just a line with my liquid liner. I'm gonna need to buy a new one soon. Getting a little chunky. You can already see the Snow White coming on. That's it, just a line. So I'm going to finish my other one. I ended up going into a bit of a cat eye. I think it's just beyond my control. So I went ahead and did my eyes. A little bit of a cat eye. And since we want to accentuate the innocence of Snow White, let's go ahead and put some white liner on our waterline. I'm using a Ben Nye cream pencil. You can use whatever you've got. Just some kind of white liner that's going to really open your eye up. Then we've got our mascara. I'm going to be honest with you. It looks pretty good with just the mascara. I don't think I'm going to do eyelashes. But if you want to, I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. I think it'll look really good. I have pretty long lashes, especially when I put the mascara on. You know what I need? A lash curler. Because that really... So they're not going out straight. They're like kind of curled up. I'm going to get me one of those. I don't have one, believe it or not. This looks just fine. Doing a red lip, so I'm going to do the red lip liner. We're going to do things the right way today. All we have to do now is fill in our lip. And we have Snow White. Let's get on our costume. Here she is, Snow White. I'm wishing for the one I love. Let's go take some photos. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I hope you loved this costume. It's a classic, and of course, I mean, it's Snow White. It's no guessing game here. The one thing about the costume, it is long. So if you want a shorter version, like what she wore in the movie, just hem it. Cut it and hem it. If I wear it again, I definitely will be hemming it to be a little bit shorter. But other than that, it's a great costume. That does it for today's episode. If you loved this costume, there's going to be many more coming your way this year. I have some more Disney. I have some more mascots. I even have, I'll be doing some Star Wars finally. So there's going to be a lot coming up this year. If you haven't already, please remember to like, subscribe, and share the video. And I'll see you next time.